Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Learning Maths in the topic of solving simultaneous equations. What I intended to do with this video is to provide the few basic skills that is required for the learners or anyone who are interested or required to solve simultaneous equation. And the context of simultaneous equation that we are talking about here is the equations that liaise with two linear equations. Let's move on. Okay, so the very first basic skill that all learners need to acquire before stepping into solving simultaneous equation is get to know what is coefficient. Well, it may sound alien or foreign, but actually we do that, and we use it many times in our daily life. Have you ever tried saying like 3 cars? I'm sure you did that, right? There are 10 houses there. Okay, there are 5 apples. You have tried that, right? So when you say those numbers in front of something, for example, car, houses, apple, the number is actually coefficient. So I'm going to put this into writing. So coefficient is actually the number that appear or attach. The number that appears or attach or attaches to an alphabet letter. Okay, in maths, all right? Of course, in our daily life, we say, let's say 5 cars. Or we say, let's say 10 houses, right? Or, okay, let's say 7 apples. So now, all those numbers that you use, 5, 10, apple, all these are actually coefficient. Those are actually coefficient. But when we take these daily life events and use it in our mathematical calculation, which is called algebra, we don't always write out the whole words, for example, cars. So what in algebra we do is, instead of 5 car, for example, we use C to represent car. And then the houses, so instead of write out HOUSES, we just use maybe H. And then, for example, 7 apples, we just use A. So that is how in writings we turn the normal English daily life usage into algebraic expression. Okay, now let's move on to why is it important to solving simultaneous equations. Why do we need to do that? Why do we need to pay attention to it? Okay, it is for one thing, because in the very first step, in solving simultaneous equation, we need to do elimination. Okay, so in order to do elimination, what does that mean? You will find out more later, but we wanted to eliminate, for example, if we got 5, okay, let's say someone actually have 5 cars and something else, okay, let's say this person, and then another person have, let's say, also 5 cars with something. All right, and then so maybe they pay for certain amount. All right, let's say we put in some number here for illustration. Let's say he paid 500. Okay, maybe it's the petrol money or whatever, okay? So we just give for illustration, okay? And then maybe another person also using 5 car and something else, and then he actually pay, let's say, $280. And let's say that besides using car, all right, maybe this person is using 6 motorcycle and the other person using 5 cars, and let's say let's put in some number like this, 2 motorcycle. So in order to solve this unknown, for example, maybe C is the representing the petrol expenses for using car, and M is the expenses for using motorcycle. And so then the first person pay total $500, and the second person pay total $280. So in our job is we supposed to find out how much money was spent for the petrol car money, and the other one, how much is the cost that we pay for the motorcycle petrol money. So in order to do that, that's why simultaneous come into picture. And before we can ever start to do that and find out what is C, what is M, the very first step we need to eliminate. So when we do that, so that is why the very first step we wanted to look for same coefficient, okay? Same coefficient, the first person 5 cars, second person 5 cars, and this is where we are going to eliminate. So it is necessary for us to know this so that we can eliminate that, so that we can actually get rid of the car money first, so that we can deal with the motorcycle cost. And then with that, so you're going to take 280, so this you're going to get $220, okay, for motorcycle. And then from there, we are able to move on to find the cost used for the motorcycle. So this is the place where we need to know the coefficient, and that we need to do something so that we can eliminate one of the unknown. So that is about coefficient. Well, let's move on to the second basic skill. All right, so here's supposed to be second. Yeah, so the second basic skill is expanding brackets. Well, it sounds familiar, okay? I'm sure most of us familiar with expanding brackets. All right, so let us just run. So what expanding brackets? Okay, so when we do in the expression, we all familiar with this. Let's say you have 2a plus 7. And when we expanding bracket, that we get 6a plus 21, right? So this is the similar idea that in the process of solving simultaneous equation, we are going to use this. So we need to make sure, how do we use the expanding bracket idea in the solving of simultaneous equation? Let's elaborate so that you will see. Okay, now this skill is needed when we need to adjust. We need to adjust the coefficient to be the same so that we can eliminate them. Let's illustrate with examples. Now, we have 2 choices, okay? First choice, when we just adjust one of the equation. Let's say we wanted, let's say for example, in this example, we want to eliminate y, okay? We want to eliminate y. So now we will look at the coefficient of y, okay? Now let's look at that. That is coefficient of y. And what is that? In maths, we know that when no number in front of an alphabet letter, that is actually one piece. And then here we go for this person or equation, you got 2y. Then we know that we can just adjust equation 1. Okay, and let me illustrate that. So we can just adjust. So what we do is we adjust equation 1. So what we do? What do we do? So it says that we take the equation 1, we multiply that with 2. Why? Why do we multiply that with 2? Because here is 2. So we want this to become 2 so that 2y and 2y can be eliminated. So with that, that is what we intended to do. Then here we go. Then we are, if you're not familiar, okay, if you're not familiar, you can actually just put a 2 here, okay? You can just put a 2, easy for you to see. But if not, you can just put you can just work it out in your mind. But let's say I would just put a 2 there, so that now I'm going to take 2 multiply 4, then I get 4x, and then 2 multiply 1y, then I got 2y, and then 2 multiply 10, we got 20. Let's write that down. So now we have, I'm going to use different ink color to indicate that for you. So we got 8x plus 2y equals to 10. And now the equation 1 has been modified, all right? So I would like to give it a new name. So equation 1 has now been modified. So this is where we know and adjust. We have seen that now equation 2 has 2y. And then if we would take this down, we're going to copy and paste this. Okay, so that easy for you to compare. So now you notice that both of the equations are having both 2y. So this is where we can eliminate it. All right. So this is choice 1 when we just adjust one of the equation. On another case that we may encounter, let's say we do not want to adjust the y, but we want to, let's say, eliminate. We want to, okay, I have written too fast, okay. We want to eliminate x. So if we want to eliminate x, we notice that this one got 4x, this one got 3x. No, they are different. So what do? We can actually choose this. We can just choose to do cross multiplying the equation with 2 respective multiples so that both terms have the same coefficient. Well, it looks very, very long and complicated, but I'm sure we are quite familiar with this, okay? We have all been faced with fraction with different denominators, but when we need to do addition or subtraction of 2 or 3 more fractions, we need to make sure all denominators are the same. So we just give you an illustration. Let's say if you're given a denominator of 2, and then let's say you need to plus with a denominator of 5. What do? Yes, you're going to cross multiply them, right? So after you multiply that, and you notice your denominator has become same. So this is the similar idea that we do here. Let us move on and let's see what can we do with this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's adjust equation 1. Okay, let's adjust equation 1. This is 3, so we're going to multiply with 3, right? So we just multiply 3 here. So we just multiply 3. And then shall we just multiply 4? Okay, so for the examination, we will need to write down what do we do with them. So equation 1, we multiply 3. Now expand the bracket, 3 times 4, and then times y, then times 10. Yep, that is what we're going to get. Yes, I can hear you say that 12x plus 3y equals to 10. Yeah, and let's give a different name to it. And then for equation 2, let's multiply 4, and that you got 12x, right? And then you multiply that 8y, and then 8. Let's go on with 8y and then 8. Now give a new name to it. Here we go. Let's take a look at the coefficient. Now we notice that the coefficients are the same. So 1 is the same, we can eliminate that. We can take 12x minus 12x, they are gone. That's no longer existed. We will only have the y to deal with. Okay, so this is the second basic idea. Okay, second basic idea, which is using the idea of expanding brackets. For what purpose? To adjust so that we can have both one of the term shares the same coefficient. And again, what is that for? So that we can eliminate that. Okay, so let's move on to another, okay, the basic skill number 3. That is addition or subtraction of terms. Why do we need to do that? We need to eliminate them so that they become 0 or completely gone from the equations. Let's take a look. I put down here a few examples. So now let's take a look at this. So 3x and 3y. All right. And how about here? 9y and 9y. How about here? Okay, do you notice that I've highlighted that? Here we go. I want us to pay attention that in case 1, this is the case, when both terms have coefficient with same positive sign. Okay, do you notice this is positive 3, positive 3. Here we go, positive 9, and then positive 1, positive 1. So when you encounter situation like that, how do you eliminate the two terms? We will use subtraction. So what I'm going to do is I will just illustrate it this way. I'm going to put a bright red ink for you to see that. So we're going to subtract, and to make things easier, so I will just do it as though we are subtracting this way. So here you see that you got 3x minus 3x. The whole things are gone. See that? The whole things are gone. All right. So you can eliminate x. And then from here, you're going to get 2y minus 5y. We have learned that in integer, minus has become plus. So here you got 7y. And therefore, here minus you got 5. Okay, so you notice your complicated simultaneous equation has been reduced in a simple one unknown equation. So let's take a look at here. Let's illustrate more. Okay, so again, when they are the same, so what you do is you do the subtraction. Let's go. Yeah, you do a subtraction. So 3x minus 2x minus 3x, you got a minus x. And then, 9y minus 9, there you go. The whole things are gone. No more existence. And then 4 minus 6, now you got a simple, minus 2, a simple equations. There you go. So you can easily eliminate the other unknowns. Let's go on for this. If you got this, again, because of the same positive, what we do is let's eliminate it with a minus. Okay, so now 4x minus 1x, you got 3x here, but y minus y, y minus y, you know, again, this has been gone. And therefore, you got minus 2. Okay, so you notice that once you eliminate that, you can proceed with solving what is y. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up this for our pleasure. So y, now we solve that. Yes, we found the values of y as that. And then x, we know that we solve it and we got the minus 1. Okay, then we got minus 1. Then so we know that x is 2. Then here we can move on by solving x divided 3. So we know x is minus 2 over 3. So we can go on. But the whole idea of adjusting, eliminating is for this. Once we do this, the following steps become easy. Got it? Okay. In the second case, when both coefficients share a same negative sign, both of them are negative. Let's highlight them for your attention. You see here, negative. Yeah. So here, negative. And again, here, both negative. Okay. Then here again, notice these are both negative. Okay. So how do we eliminate them? Again, we use subtraction. You notice that once they are same sign, we use subtraction. I repeat again, same sign, subtraction. So let's put in, as usual, minus, okay, minus, minus. Let's move on. So you notice that when it is minus 3, minus, minus, it has become a plus. Okay, see that? Minus, minus has become plus. So minus 3 and plus 3 has successfully eliminated that. And then 2 minus 7, that gives you a minus 5y. And then 10 minus 2, that's you got 8. All right, so again, becomes simple linear equation. Then how about here? Minus 6 minus minus, again, become positive. So you eliminate the 6y altogether. And again, the sophisticated simultaneous equation has now become a simple one unknown equation. Then same thing. Let's take a look at this case. This is a minus 5. All right. And then again, you see minus and minus has managed to convert it into plus. So minus 5 plus 5 again, ta-da, gone. All right. So your sophisticated simultaneous equation again has become a simple, very tame, domesticated, simple equation of 7x equals to minus 2. And from there, you may go on to solve what is y. So 8 minus divided minus 5, therefore 8, 5. And you can make that into mixed number 3 over 5. And then here you can go on to solve this as 8 divided minus 3. Oops, sorry. Okay, let me zoom in again. So x equals to minus 8 over 3. And you notice that some sophisticated simultaneous equation has become such a tame and friendly equations. All right, with that one step of elimination. Okay, let's go on. Okay, let's finish up this together. I can hear you are saying the answers, right? Okay, so these are the case number 2. Then, when the coefficients are sharing the same, okay, no, what do I put in same there? Okay, different sign. Okay, when both terms have coefficient with different signs. Okay, let's highlight that. Okay, here we go. This is positive 7 and minus 7x. This is a minus x, minus 2y and plus 2y, different sign. And then here, plus 9 and minus 9, different sign. Okay, different sign. Okay, I want to Okay, don't get distracted with that different sign. So now let us eliminate, but this time we're going to use addition. We eliminate different sign with addition. Let me just show that to all of us. You're going to put a plus, okay, and here you're going to get a plus, therefore here plus, and let's go on. So we see that for this case, positive 7x plus negative 7, well, the whole thing is gone. So now you got 4y, and then you got 10. Again, the complicated simultaneous equation has been came into a happy and friendly single unknown equation. Here we go. Let's go on. Yes, minus 2y and plus a positive 2y. Again, they will be eliminated. Now you got 8x equals 13. Nice and easy. The same thing here, positive 9 and plus a negative 9, the whole thing will be gone. So 2 plus 6, you got a simple linear equation with one unknown. See? And if you want to, just finish that. Okay, y equals to 10 over 4. You can cancel that with 2 and then here 5. So you got this as 5 over 2, or you can put that as 2.5. So you got the value for y. And then here, if you got this, so you got 13 over 8. So you got 5 over 8. Done. And then here, x, you got 14 over 8. Let's simplify. Here you got 4, you got 7. So here we go. 3 over 4. Again, from complicated simultaneous equation has now been turned into a simple one unknown equation. So easy and then so straightforward. But everything has to begin by able to recognize coefficient, able to adjust it so that they are the same, and then we get rid of it. All right. So now I will move on to the third and final. Actually, previously we have been keep doing that also. The third basic skill is solving a linear equation. All right. Why is it for? Of course, solving an equation to obtain the value of the unknown. Well, I put there 3 examples for us. Okay. So this is solving linear equation. Okay. If you're familiar with moving, if you're familiar, for some of us, you're familiar with moving and become opposite side, become +3, you can do that. But those who are not familiar, you can consider this as +3 both sides. Okay, you do the same operation both sides. Well, let's move on. Okay, 5x equals to 12 plus 3 and x. Okay, let me not jump. Okay, here you got 15. So x equals to 15 over 5. Therefore, you got the value of x. How about here? So you again shift all the unknowns to the left hand side, 7x, then move the 3x plus 3x both sides, and this is what you get. Okay, then you got 22 minus 2. Then over here you got 10x. Then here you got 20x, 20 over 10. Nice and easy, you got 2. That's got it. And then how about here? Okay, so if you got a minus, I just want to be a little bit careful. All right, so I would suggest we can do it in 2 ways. Okay, maybe the first way, I'm going to leave the minus 6x here. Then I just minus 15 both sides, and that will give us minus x, and then 7 minus 15, and we will get that as 8, right? Minus 8. So here, x minus 8 minus 6, that gives us 2 and 4. Okay, no, that is 3. San Liu here. Then we got a positive 4 over 3. And again, this is what we get. This is the first method. Okay, you can do that. How about if you don't like it? Okay, you say, I don't like to have a negative here. What can I do? Yes, you can do it different. Oops, let's go back there. Okay, you can do in the same way. Let's just take that. Okay, I'm just going to copy this, but introduce to us, we can actually use a different way. Let's put in here. All right, so I'm going to put in, okay, what we can do is we can swap the side, or we can just plus 6x both sides. If you plus 6x both sides, again, I say you plus 6x both sides, you're going to get 15 equals 7 plus 6x. Got that? So why not? If you want to be safe, you just swap both ends. Okay, you see, I just swap the left hand side and the right hand side over. And then, so now 6x equals to 15 minus 7. And then again, you got to 8 over 6 and 3, 4. I'm a bit running out of space here. All right. Yes, just nice. So you notice that. Okay, so I've given you this, the third basic skills, that is solving linear equation. All right, so in short, in order to master the simultaneous equation and solving them successfully, we wanted to run this mastering these 3 basic skills. Let us go through them right from the beginning, okay, before we close this session. Firstly, you wanted to pay attention. Every time the question given to you, you want to look out for the coefficients for the respective 2 terms. What is the coefficient? So how can I adjust them so that they get to the same simultaneous same coefficient? Well, sometimes when you are lucky, you're presented with the equation that's already equal, same coefficient, then you don't need to do adjustment. But if you're given something that are different, the coefficient is different, then what you need to do is practice the basic skill number 2, that is either adjust one of the equation by multiplying them so that they become same, okay, or you can cross multiply both of them so that they both adjusted to the same. Then the basic skill number 3 is, once you get the same coefficient, how would you eliminate them? Here we go. Summary. 1. If both coefficients are same, okay, same positive or same negative, you will use subtraction to get rid of the term. All right. And if the terms are on the opposite signs, if they are on opposite signs, different signs, so what you do is you use addition. You add them up, then you will automatically remove one of the unknowns and leave for you a simple, friendly, kind, tame, single unknown equation, and you can move on from there. Okay, so then the final skill, which is the basic skill number 4, which is the solving of linear equation. So what you do is just either, if you're familiar with the idea of doing the same operation both sides, of those of us who are familiar with the word moving, and which is actually called inverse operation, then you go on and just move them over until you solve the equations. All right, so these are the 4 basic skills, and after this I'm going to prepare a few examples of the different setting of the simultaneous equation. I welcome you and encourage you to check it out for the other videos where I will put up the equations and then go through the processes, the steps of how to solve them. And I promised you there are only 3 simple steps, step 1, 2, and 3. But when each time when you do that, you will surely successfully solve them with full mark. All right, so that's all for this video. I'm looking forward to see you in the next videos. How do we master this topic? All right, so I wish you happy learning and keep in touch. Check out the videos and ensure you each and every day are full of happy learning experiences. All right, that's all for now. Looking forward to see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.